What's happening, guys? So I'm back with another one again. And we're going to be talking about what Mikel Arteta said in the press conference leading up to the Crystal Palace, or Arsenal versus Crystal Palace in the EFL Cup game. Now, in his press conference, I'm going to try and not make this video too long. And before I forget, this is not live, right? Anytime you see the short intro, it's not a live video, right? When you see the long intro, which is like 3 minutes, 5 seconds long, that's when I'm going live. That's when I'm actually live with you guys. I am not live right now, but I'm gonna keep saying it throughout the video because obviously there will be people that will come in as this is premiering and might think it's live, and you might think I'm ignoring you, but I'm not. But I'm not live. So, anyways, Mikel Arteta was asked by one of the journalists. It was basically one of the journalists said to him that how he's, you've won one trophy in 4 years, blah, blah, blah. And Arteta responds by saying, I won 2 charity shields, no? Like, do they not count? So he corrects the journalist by saying, I've won 3 trophies because I won 2 community shields as well as the FA Cup. And a lot of fans, especially obviously Arsenal fans as well, a lot of fans have gone about it like this. Right? And even your most toxic positive ones, even they are on the same hymn sheet as those who don't count the community shield at all. So I'm making this video just to talk about, I've already spoke about this plenty of times before. I mean, there's quite a few videos on my channel where I've been speaking about the community shield and everything like that. You've all seen
I've seen him do it.
But yeah, we're going to talk about it some more because you just need to drive the point home. And obviously because Arteta has brought this to my lap, basically, for me to do a response to it, we might as well talk about it. So let's talk. I'm sick of them sweatsuits and them corny hats. Let's talk about it. So, was Arteta wrong for shamelessly counting the community shield, the 2 community shields, one that he won because, we got in, because we finished behind City, who already clinched the domestic double, right? Which we never should have been in, by the way. Should have been Man United that season. Was he wrong for counting the community shield, or is it not embarrassing that he counted the shield? Because a lot of people think it was embarrassing for him to count the shields like that.
It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. That's what it is, a disgrace.
But you all know my opinion on it. Those of you who have kept up with this channel, and my opinion is basically me, the FA, and UEFA. Oh, excuse me. I'll start again. It's basically me, UEFA, and the FA versus everybody else. You know what I mean? Like the community shield. Let's just start right. Let's go from the back. Start from the back and work our way to the front. Right? The community shield. How do you get into the community shield? Let's start there. How does anybody play in the community shield? Can anybody play in it? No, not anybody can just walks into the community shield and be like, yeah, I'm participating, right? There's only 2 teams that can play in the community shield, right? Only 2 teams, yeah, right? And that's the team that is the champions of England and the team that's the second fiddle to the champions of England. So the second best champions of England, right? AKA the league title winners and the FA Cup winners. Now, second place can go in there if the team that wins the league also wins the FA Cup, which, in my opinion, it should not be like that. It should then go to the League Cup winners, right? Because they were better than the team that finished second. But that's just my opinion. So that's how you get in the Community Shield. So you can't just have an okay season, finish 8 for them being a Community Shield. Can't do that. You know what I mean? That cannot, will not, should not, has not happened. So you have to be prestigious in your previous season to then play in the Community Shield, which formerly was the Charity Shield, right? So we've established you need to be a champion to be in there, basically. Now, it's played under the friendly rules, right? It's always played under the friendly rules, and this is what's used to devalue the Community Shield because it's just a charity match. It's raising money for charity, and it's just a glorified friendly, basically, right? But the amount of disrespect that is put onto the Community Shield, like to say you don't have to win the league title or the FA Cup to be in there. Like you might as well half-heartedly disrespect the FA Cup and the league title then, because when you win those, any one of those two, you get to go in this glorified friendly to compete for a dinner plate. You know what I mean? So like some people can question, well, is the league title and the FA Cup that good if that's all you get? If that's the Super Cup that you get to go in? You know what I mean? Now, this whole thing that the Community Shield is played under friendly rules and it was to raise money for charity and everything like that, who gives a shit? I couldn't give a shit if it was an Audi Cup, right? You have to win the league title or the FA Cup typically to be in there. Automatically, that should make it more prestigious than what it is. You know what I mean? You have to win. You don't just go in there just for you only got one yellow card this season, Bournemouth. So you can go in the Community Shield. You don't go in there for good behaviour. You have to win. Ain't that what we all talking about? Ain't that what some of us talk about? It's all about winning. It's all about winning trophies, blah blah blah. Yet now, when you have to do that, and that's the only way typically that you get into the Community Shield, suddenly the Community Shield is a nothing competition. Now, I've heard all sorts as to why the Community Shield is not important or it's a nothing trophy and it's not a trophy, it's this and that. I've heard all sorts, right? Some say, well, only 2 teams compete in it. It's not like it's a whole abundance of teams that compete in it. Again, who gives a shit? In fact, whose fault's that? There's 20 teams in the Premier League. 18 of them were shit. 2 of them, well, not even just Premier League, because anybody can win the FA Cup that's in the Football League. Well, not even in the Football League, the Football Association, right? But typically, we know Premier League teams typically win it now. So out of the 18 teams, last season, out of the 18 teams, Manchester City and Man United were the top 2. Man United won the FA Cup, City won the league title. What everybody else did was irrelevant. Nobody gives a shit that it's only Man United and Man City that are in the Community Shield. They did what was necessary to be in there. They won to be in there. So this whole thing of, well, only 2 teams compete in the Community Shield. Yeah, because the 2 teams that were in it were champions. So if Bournemouth are in it, if Arsenal are in it, if Wolves are in it, whose fault's that? You should have been better then, shouldn't you? You know what I mean? You should have been better. So that's another excuse just completely destroyed, right? This whole thing of only 2 teams can compete, right? And this whole, it's a glorified, soccer aid and glorified friendly, whatever, right? But you have to win the league title or the FA Cup to be in there. The same things that we all big up. The same things that we say, these are the things you have to win if you want to be big things, basically. Even though some people even try and disrespect the FA Cup, right? Now, you get people that disrespect the League Cup, right? There's people that will disrespect the League Cup. And then there's people that respect the League Cup but still don't respect the Community Shield, which I find a bit odd because really, really and truly, there'd be more incentive to disrespect the League Cup because once you win it, yes, you get Europa League, but you don't get any, you don't get to go into a Super Cup for it. You win the FA Cup, you go in the English Super Cup, aka the Community Shield. Ask UEFA and FA, they say that that's what it is, right? Obviously, the league title, you go in the Community Shield. The League Cup, you don't get that. You get more of nothing after you've won the League Cup, and the League Cup comes around like right at the start of the season, and climaxes in February. So it's the first competition to climax in the season. So disrespecting the Community Shield, you might as well disrespect the EFL Cup. You might as well. You know what I mean? The Community Shield exists because somebody has to be the top two. Really and truly. The FA and the UEFA themselves describe the Community Shield as a competitive English Super Cup. So anybody else's opinions about, oh, this is how I view it, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. You know what I mean? It's irrelevant. The FA say the Champions League is X, Y, and Z. Whatever you feel about it is irrelevant because it is what it is. Now, the same people that disrespect the Community Shield, right? The same people who disrespect the Community Shield are the same people who count the Community Shield when you ask them how many trophies has your club won, right? Now, let's stick with Arsenal fans for a second, right? I've not heard not one Arsenal fan say we've won 32 trophies or 31 or 30, whichever trophies that you know, because some things say that we won 49 trophies, some say we won 48, some say we won 47, right? I've never heard an Arsenal fan say we've won 30-something trophies. I've never heard it. Never in my life have I heard an Arsenal fan, when asked how many trophies has your club won, they never disregard the Community Shield. They'll always count it. It's always 40-something, 40-something, 40-something. You ask Man United fans and Liverpool fans will tell you they've won 70 trophies. Man United fans will tell you they've won 69 trophies. But then there'll be the same ones that will say, no, the Community Shield don't count. So I just make it make sense. Because let's put it this way, right? And again, logic destroys all. Logic and facts destroy all, right? So let's be logical right now, right? And let's just go with this hypothetical, right? Arsenal played in the Community Shield, right? And Saka scored a hat-trick. He scored 3 goals in the Community Shield, and we won the Community Shield, right? Then Saka goes on to score 20 goals across 4 competitions, the League Cup, FA Cup, Premier League, and Europe, right? He scores 5 goals in each competition, right? How many goals has Saka got in that season? In all comps. When I say in that season, I don't mean the Premier League season. I mean in that season as a whole. Because I guarantee you, every man and his dog, right, that it will say Saka scored 23 goals that season. That's one thing I can guarantee you. So, with that fact, if the 3 goals in the Community Shield counts, why doesn't the trophy won in that competition count? Gotcha, bitch. Can somebody explain that? And this is not live, by the way. This is premiering. So you can drop it in the comments. If Saka scores 20 goals across the Premier League, the FA Cup, the EFL Cup, and Europe, and he already scored a hat-trick in the Community Shield that he then won beforehand, he has got 23 goals that season. Hence, if the goals count in the competition that he scored the 3 goals in, by definition, what you won automatically counts. Gotcha, bitch. No? Unless I'm lying. Unless the goals don't count. unless the goals don't count. If you look at Garnacho's goal tally for this season, right? I guarantee you that Community Shield counts because he scored in that Community Shield. I guarantee you that counts. And whoever, I think it was Bernardo Silva that equalised for Man City. I guarantee you, his goal tally, the Community Shield's in there. Every season, somebody has to win the Community Shield, the EFL Cup, the FA Cup, the Premier League. Somebody has to win those domestic trophies every season. Somebody has to, no exceptions. There's no Community Shield this season because there's just not. No, somebody has to win it every season. But for some odd reason, with all these football fans, they don't count the Community Shield. Even Man City counted the Community Shield when they talk about the formidables. They won the domestic treble, then won the Community Shield. Well, actually, no. They won the Community Shield, then won the domestic treble, and then won the Community Shield again. But, everything they did last season, they did it all in one, even they count it. So we just pick and choose. Now, the Community Shield, with that being said, the Community Shield is not a marker to whether a manager keeps his job or not. Because, whose job's on the line at the very start of the season and the Community Shield depends on it. Let's be real. If you'd have just won the FA Cup or the league title, your job's not on the line anymore. I mean, you could say Ten Hag, but the Community Shield, whether he won the Shield or not, the way the Community Shield's viewed by the footballing world, that wasn't going to be the you win this or you lose your job kind of thing, right? The Community Shield, yes, it's the curtain raiser to the season, right? If you don't win that, you've still got the EFL Cup, FA Cup, league title to try and win, and then Europe if you're in it. You've got those to try and win, right? So it's not like the Community Shield is thrown in between those competitions. No, it's right at the start, right? The only two teams that can play in it is the two teams that were the best of the previous season, right? The champions of England and the second tier champions of England. So again, I know people feel how they feel about Arteta and him saying what he said, but he's technically not wrong. That being said, that doesn't change whether he should stay or leave. In my opinion, he should scram. But clowning a manager or fans that do count the Community Shield, you might as well disrespect how you get there. You might as well devalue how you get there, basically. Because people treat it as if anybody gets handed out into the Community Shield. You know what I mean? You're in there off good behaviour. You didn't get that many red cards this season. You got the least yellow cards playing the Community Shield. It don't work like that. You know what I mean? You have to be a champion to be in there. But people will suck off the Super Cup, the UEFA Super Cup. They'll suck that off. You have to win the Champions League or Europa League to be in there. But they'll suck off that Super Cup. But he's played under friendly rules. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? I don't give a shit what the rules are in the Community Shield or whatever. You have to win the league or the FA Cup to be in there. That alone should be worthy of it being more than just what we see it as. It's not the same as an Emirates Cup or the Audi Cup and whatever other cups. It's not the same. You know what I mean? Only two teams competing there. Yes, because only those two teams were the best. So if you weren't the best, we might as well say, well, only so many teams compete in the Champions League. Yes, because they were good enough to be in there based on how you qualify to be in there. You don't qualify for the Community Shield for just chilling. Unless you're chilling and get second and the team above you wins a double, then you get in there through a handout, which I don't think is fair. You know what I mean? But yeah, the disrespect for the Community Shield is loud. It's very loud. And that's just how it is. And it's not going to change. Changing it from a dinner plate to an actual cup, I don't think that will do anything, because we're so far into the community shield. Is a community shield, it's a charity shield, it's this, it's that. Yet, you know, when it comes to how you get there, you have to be a champion typically. And according to the FA and UEFA, it's a competitive English Super Cup. So your opinions mean fuck all now. And the facts are on my side. You know what I mean? Let's be real right here, right now. The FA and UEFA couldn't give a shit that you man think that it's a glorified friendly. They couldn't give a shit that, oh, because it's played under friendly rules. They couldn't give a shit. You know what I mean? Because if we win a trophy that has UEFA in front of it, we start sucking it off to oblivion. Because it's UEFA. You know what I mean? We won the FA Cup. And yet those two organisations say it's a competitive English Super Cup. So it don't matter if Pep don't rate it. It don't matter if Klopp don't rate it. It don't matter if it don't matter who rates it and who doesn't. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Because by that logic, there's people that don't rate the EFL Cup. Doesn't mean it's not what it is. And this is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? If anything, there'll be a stronger argument again. There'll be a stronger argument to disrespect the League Cup. You know what I mean? The Premier League don't get into it until round 3. You know, it's played early in the season and it finishes early in the season. You only get Europa League for it. You don't go into a Super Cup for it like you do the FA Cup, like you would a Copa del Rey, like you would the German FA Cup, whatever it's called, like you would the French Cup and all these things there. You don't get none of that with the EFL Cup. So there'll be more incentive to disrespect the EFL Cup. It's always played on a night, and then there's a 2-leg semi-final. Like, you know what I mean? There's the things you could say about the EFL Cup. But what beats me is these toxic positive fans, you know, your Robbies and them, that will have the same opinion that the Community Shield is nothing. You would think them of all people. You would think the toxic positives of all people who are still pulling their pants down for Arteta, spraying kids everywhere, you would think them of all people would be on my side of the argument of that the Community Shield counts and here's why. You would think so, because Arteta won 2 of them. You would think so, wouldn't you? You would think they'd use that and say, well, he's won 3 trophies altogether. Nope. Even they're on that side of the Community Shield is nothing. Even your biggest Arteta-ins. Even them. That's how much you know the Community Shield is disrespected. When the Arteta-ins are even rating it like that. Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? It's madness. Even your big Arteta-ins, right? Even your big Arteta-ins are in that camp of the Community Shield. It don't count. It's this, it's that. Like I said, I'm on my own with this. It's just me, the FA, and UEFA. You know what I mean? Versus everybody. You know what I mean? The FA and UEFA say it's a competitive English Super Cup. They say that. You know what I mean? They said it.
I've seen him do it.
That's what they say. Everybody else has their opinions on what they feel it is. It's a glorified soccer aid, glorified friendly, it's charity, blah blah blah. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit. You have to win the league or the FA Cup to be in there. Nobody cares. Nobody cares what rules it's played under. Nobody cares that it's played at the start of the season, or nobody cares that it's octagon shape. Nobody cares. You're in it because you have to be a champion typically. You know what I mean? It's all that matters. It's all that matters. You have to be prestigious in England to be in there. That's all that matters. I don't care if it's an Audi Cup. If they changed it and said, right, Audi Cup, you have to win the league title or the FA Cup to play in the Audi Cup. I don't give a shit. That automatically makes that more prestigious now. You know what I mean? Just think of this scenario before I end this stream. Just think of the scenario, right? You try and go into a room and there's doormen outside that room. You try and go in there and they said, no, sorry, you can't come in here. The best and the second best can only come in here. And then you turn around and say, well, I don't care anyway because it's shit in there. Imagine saying how shit it is to be in a place where only winners can go. And then you'll get fans that support football clubs to which the Charity Shield would be like the Champions League to them, that will say, or fans that will say that, oh no, I wouldn't hype up the Community Shield. Bollocks. Fuck out of here. You know what I mean? You tell me they ain't Wolves fans, right? That wouldn't take finishing second behind the team that wins a double for them Wolves to beat them at Wembley in a Community Shield. You tell me they wouldn't take that? Bollocks. Bollocks. You know what I mean? Bollocks. It's because you'll never see it. These clubs typically will never see it. Probably not in their lifetime. This is why they can say that. And because how the clubs, the fans of clubs that actually do win it, because of how they see it, they're then like, no, I see it the same way. Nah, fam. You would take a day out at Wembley to lift something. Jesus Christ, something. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all, you know, you'd seen Wembley and you never lifted anything in there, fam. You know what I mean? Been to a cup final and got slapped. But then we'll turn around and say, oh yeah, I won't glorify the Community Shield. Bollocks. You know what I mean? You can understand fans that win it or have won it in recent times saying that. But again, as I said, you have to win the league or the FA Cup typically to be in there. You most definitely have to win the league. Well, no, because second place, as I said. But as I said, somebody has to win the league anyway. Somebody has to win the FA Cup, right? Somebody has to. But the one that wins the league is guaranteed. You can go in there without winning either if the one that has took the league also took the FA Cup. I know I'm repeating myself, but you know, it's to drive the point home of how you get in there. You know what I mean? Really and truly, if you really want to be technical, right? These type of competitions, you know, your Super Cups and them, these type of competitions is basically, okay, you're the best and you're the second best. So let's see who's really the best. That's why there's only two in there. It's not a top four that are in the Community Shield. And then let's see who's the best. No, because it's about the two who are the best. That's technically what it is, basically. Any Super Cup, that's technically what it is. Just like the UEFA Super Cup. You're the best, you're the second best. Okay, let's see who's the best then. Go. You know what I mean? You're the best boxer in South London. You're the best boxer in North London. Let's see who's the best in London. You know what I mean? Scotland were the best up and in the north of Britain. England were the best in south of Britain. Let's see who's going to be the British champion. Who's going to conquer all? If you want to get technical. But anyways, I'm going to leave it here. But yeah, the disrespect of the Community Shield is quite laughable, especially when it comes from a place of, I value the League Cup, but I don't value the Community Shield. I count the Community Shield when I feel like it. Blah blah blah. I mean, all you have to do to trump these people's points is does my goals count? If I score 10 goals in the Community Shield and I score 10 goals across 3 or 4 competitions that season, have I finished the league on 20 goals? Have I finished the season, on 20 goals? So that's how it works. If I score 10 goals in an Audi Cup friendly, Emirates Cup friendly, that ain't going to count towards the season. The season starts with a Community Shield. That's where it starts. The season started early for both Manchester clubs because they were in the Community Shield. It started early for them because they were the best. They were the 2 best teams in the country last season. However you want to sugarcoat it. Everybody else, sorry, losers don't participate in here. You know what I mean? So kill that argument that only 2 teams compete in the Community Shield and not everybody else competes. Well, everybody else had a chance in the previous season. They weren't good enough. So the top 2 were in there. I'm sorry, winners only. You know what I mean? That's typically what it is. Winners only. Oh, you finished 2nd, you finished 3rd, you finished 4th, you finished 5th, and you didn't win the FA Cup. Sorry, you don't get to come in here. It's only those who've won the league title or the FA Cup. 2nd place only comes in if the team above won the double, which it should fall to the EFL Cup winners, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, I'm done. As I said, this wasn't live, but I should have said it more often, but I didn't. I forgot. That's my bad on my part. Anyways, like the video, share the video, comment, subscribe to the channel, follow all the socials. The link is in the description below, and hopefully by the time you've watched this, we've already beaten. Because obviously, as I'm recording this, it's the night before we play Palace. As this premieres, we're playing Palace later on. So this is going to premiere tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon of 18th of December. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
And if anyone wants to have a come at me,
come and find me. I'm in the car park now.
Because I'm a black belt in karate.
Stop the cap.
Come and have a pop.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.